Hump Day. That sounded really creepy. Good. Let's do Jack's 55th birthday. I still need to do it in Zoe, but I finished that finally recently. I don't want to do it again. Alright, so let me go ahead and kind of sum up Jack's 55th birthday. We are on a time limit. We must go ahead and grab food for Jack, who was the father figure in the Baker family in this Resident Evil 7 biohazard game. So, we also, fun fact, we are also playing as Mia, so let us continue. Since I'm already on a bit of a time limit, I still need to do a GTA 5 bullcrap video. This is going to be a bit of a short video. I'm probably only going to do these levels like 2, 3, all of them, because I think there's only like 3 once, and they only take like 10 minutes or less. I'll take that, I'll take that, I'll take that. Yeah. I think we're good. We're not. Alright, here we go.
Let's go!
To increase your time, all you have to do is just shoot these buggos. He has a meter. And how will you, if that meter gets all the way up before the time runs out, then you have 1. No, never mind. If his entire, yeah, before the time runs out. However, if you were to do, like, within, like, 5 minutes or such, like, increasing time will help, like, a bunch. Headshots give more, I think. Nope. Killing him does. Yeah. Oh, this is also probably one of the mini games where we have to insert your items the most. I know this feels a bit random, but you just gotta go with it. Oh, don't mind if I shoot you in the hall. In the hall. Take this, I'll take this, I'll take that, I'll take everything. Oh, crap. I'm so excited for Resident Evil Village. Oh my god. This day is literally over, almost over, and then I just have to go through that last day and just, boom, it'll be there.
Taking so long.
Alright. I don't have any combinings.
More!
You love eating wine. See, the joke is, kids, that you can't even eat wine. It's not possible. Certain doors are also locked, I think. I know I'm positive. You have to kill a certain enemy to unlock it. Oh, in the game that leads to the outdoors. Alrighty. I kind of wanted to do Nightmare, but then I thought about it. I've done Nightmare like plenty of times. So I'm gonna hold off on Nightmare. Just at least this episode. It feels so weird going back to this after I've been playing Resident Evil 2 for a while, as I'm not used to being able to guard. This gives me more time in the long run, just to kill him in one shot, so... I'm not sure what that did. I forget. Oh. Excuse me. Don't mind if I shoot see. Me dog it. What? I killed you. First aid med, that's kind of important. Wait, what was that? I'm gonna grab another item for food. Chicken! Go ahead and combine that with this. Can we combine this with nothing? We can combine it with anything. I'm out of bullets from the shotgun, so I might as well go and put it away. Got increased time. Oh, it gives you like a little not even wasting time thing, that little bobblehead. I didn't even know that. Put that up, we don't need a toughness, firepower, quick relive time bonus. Speed up, yeah, we want that. Enjoy the food. Dip a sticker. Oh, wrong way. We already went there. No, we left some chicken. We have plenty of room to grab some. Let us continue. Oh. Respawning enemies. Me likey only for the fact that I can go ahead and increase more timing. Alrighty. I didn't even see that coming. Grab. Jesus. Spice. Spice makes everything nice. Fine. No. Combine. Alright. I think this might be able to satisfy him. If not, we're just going to give him the random dunk. Pretty sure I scanned every single area now. And don't enjoy the chicken, sir. This should probably have done it. Dunk.
What the hell is this? What is this shit?
I take it you know likey? Well, I take it you're gonna likey. We're probably going to get... We got an A rank. I was hoping to get an S because I was like, hey, check this out, we won!
I don't think I can eat anymore.
Let's see what time we're at to see if I can go ahead. My limit is in half hour. I know that sounds a bit redundant, but... Come on, man. Like, this isn't even required DLC. Testing area. We'll do testing area 1. And then main house. And then we'll check out the other ones and call it a close. Probably. Again, this is just going to be a short video. But I'm not doing much good on commentary, so there's not really going to be much editing for this video. In fact, I don't even think there's going to be editing at all, because I don't think there's going to be anything I can edit. Because this is just already funny on itself, because you're feeding a main enemy food just running around the house with goofy music in the background. It's quite unique. Am I willing to do Ethan Must Die? Yes, but like 21, will it be a first rage quit video again? Yeah, probably will. Because Ethan Must Die, if you've ever seen any videos about it, it's pretty rage-inducing. I'll take this. I'll take only the shotgun for right now. Speed up, everyone looks like we're good. Nope, this needs to go on the down. Alright, let's do this!
Let's go!
Oh
my god. Yes! Thanks to, like, the spray effects, I think that's what making... Yeah, perfect example. Lock the door. Certain area. I just grabbed a machine gun. Oh, this is much better. Gotta unlock that area. Alright, let's go and check it out. Something I kind of want to talk about, because I didn't really talk about last episode, when the whole Resident Evil 8 2 Part 4. I wanted to talk about, like, certain YouTubers and how they grow over time. For instance, if anyone didn't know this, I am a big fan of Attacking Toucans and his Versus channel. Technically there, because he also does it with another YouTuber. Josh Jepson, his name is. I have to go ahead and give him a suit because I can't hold on to anything else. And I was kind of wondering, like, what happened to that channel? Well, there's a video explaining it. And Attacking Toucans actually explains how he has grown over time. And it got me kind of sad. Because I'm not going to say he's garbage now. No, I'm not going to do that. That's just rude. But I will say that, personally, I don't really like him as much as he used to be. And that's just me personally, for the nostalgia factors. And I understand that most people kind of like the new style, too. And I can see why, you know? It's cool. Was that just spice? Yes and no. Alright, Let's go. We're definitely not gonna get an S rank. We already failed. But the thing is that he has so much changed. To put an example, he now acts like what Josh Jepson would act like back then. Josh Jepson was very tame with his humor. He was not like inappropriate almost all the time like Attacking Toucans was. To put it bluntly, Attacking Toucans was probably the most inappropriate YouTuber I've seen at the time, and still kind of is to me personally. His old self, that is. And it got me kind of sad because that's kind of the humor I'm used to him, and it made me realize that nothing's ever gonna stay the same. I know that's pretty cut and dry. People tell you that all the time, but it's kind of hard to live in a reality where your favorite YouTubers, you don't feel like they're as funny as they used to be, and that's just kind of something you have to grow up with, and that's a bit of a shame. I'd say Zach Scott Games is probably one of the few YouTubers I can full on say that have gotten better over time. And that's not a blatant lie. I will say that from my dearest heart, because I do think that he's gotten way better. Looking at his old videos, they were a bit longer than they should have been. It was mostly just trying to ad-lib a few stuff that didn't really work half the time. And while he is really good now, just back then I think he could have been way better. Okay, you're being a douche. There's one behind me, isn't there? Called it! One-shot kill? Jesus. But the thing is that I'm just so, you know, it makes me wonder how certain YouTubers can get worse over time. Like, I'm not saying they're garbage now. No, I'm not saying that. It's just that I don't... there's no one to kill. Actually, there is. And I just certainly prefer the humor that they used to have. Makes me kind of sad that I can't go back to those fond memories I have of them when I was growing up, you know? Wait a minute, everyone stop. Where are you? I know you're here. Show yourself. Alrighty. I'm running out of ammo for that. I'm gonna switch back to the shotgun. But the thing is that other YouTubers have also gotten a bit worse over time. I am a firm believer in saying that I do not think Smosh is as good as they used to be. They were probably one of some of the best YouTube, and probably the third first on YouTube to ever exist. And that was really cool. And growing up, they were kind of like a humongous highlight. Even when they got into like the late 2010s, I still thought they were really good. You know, they're a slender, Molester Moon video is probably one of their most popular, and I think it's popular for a good reason. I think that's probably some of their best videos because it's the most creative. Problem is, once Anthony left, it wasn't really the same after that. I still thought they were funny, and they still managed to go ahead and do their own creative work without Anthony being around. Which is impressive since Anthony was basically what he described as, he was basically the creative ideas for everything. Him and Ian. And the only reason why reason why they're still kind of good now and they still kind of have a charm to them is because Ian's basically still there. I'm not saying the other guys are bad, I'm just saying without Ian, it would just not feel like Smosh. It would not be Smosh. Yes, technically the new ones, who I don't really know their names to, Noah, I do know one of them's Noah, they do kind of hold their own and stuff, and I think they're good for what they're capable of. It's just that, personally, I think Ian is the only reason why Smosh is still Smosh now. Though I'm pretty sure those guys had their own channels before, you know, they got into Smosh, and for good reasons, because they're funny on their own. They don't really work as Smosh material because that's not Smosh. Let me go ahead and describe Smosh in the best way I can for people who don't really know what I'm talking about yet. So, like I said, Smosh was the first YouTube channel, I'm sure of, to ever grow on YouTube, and they were probably definitely the most popular. Back in the old days, they consisted of Anthony and Ian. Ian used to have this hair... Oh yeah, I'm going to talk about hair differences, because it's basically the most notable difference between them, and what I kind of consider the eras to be. So, back when it first started, Anthony had his emo haircut, and Ian kind of had like a bread loaf haircut. Oh god. And after that, I think personally started the best era of Smosh, where Anthony had like a longer emo haircut. Oh shoot. Please die. Please die. And Ian had his like bowl haircut. It didn't just look like a loaf of bread now, it kind of looked like a more tame loaf of bread. To put it bluntly, as much tame as loaf of bread can get. But I'd say that was the best era of Smosh. That was when they were probably their most creative and stuff, and probably their most notable videos was Siri Tried to Kill Me, Smosh Found Dead. That's actually a like a little spin-off video on their channel from their second channel when they reviewed like food. It was like a fake, you know, murder thing that they invented. It was kind of funny. It almost felt real too, which was the most exciting part. And I'd say another notable video they had was definitely I was locked into a toilet, that one too. They created a lot of videos. That's why I just can't really put into word how good they probably were. And then, yeah, you could notice that they took a bit of a nosedive, a bit, I'd say, because they were still pretty good. A bit of a nosedive when Anthony then was then growing facial hair, and he got rid of his emo haircut. I meant to go to the main house. I'm going to have to exit out of here. And that was when they made probably their most popular video, Molester Moon. But compared to comedy videos, I'd say that was probably one of my least, favorite when it comes to that actually making me laugh. When it comes to in terms of creativity, I'd say it's the best creative one there. How creative can you? How much more creative can you get from taking inspiration from a freaking Apple emoji? You know. But then they got another, you know, bit of a nosedive. But then I think they got like a really high up when they introduced a new part of their, like a new series of their channel that was called, Every Blank Ever. I'd say that was definitely probably some of their best material, and still is today. Some of their very first still legitimately make me laugh, and with the new people still added, I'd say they make a really nice entry. You could tell by then Anthony was getting less and less screen time, as Ian got more and more. Ian was still probably the host of the show back then, so was Anthony, but Anthony felt a bit like in the background. The new guys were still, you know, in the background too, as Ian still stole the show the most time. It was kind of bizarre. But at the same time, it felt like a little movie act thing, you know? There was a ton of people, Anthony were the head of the show, and you got the extras, you know? The extras with the names to them that you could recognize, like bandmates. You got the lead vocals, and then you got the instrumental characters who only sang for chorus. And even still, they're still very as much popular as the lead vocals. You'll be hard-pressed to find a single 21 Pilots fan that doesn't mention Tyler Joseph and Josh Dunn together. Because that's what 21 Pilots is. That's what Fall Out Boy is. Joe, Patrick, Pete, you know, and Andy. They can't be one without the other. That's just how it's always been. That's always felt like. And they stayed there for a while until Anthony left. It was a bit of kind of a mystery at first of why he left, and I was really depressed, you know? He was definitely my favorite out of all of them because he got the most screen time compared to all the videos. Actually, I'd say there was a perfect blend between most screen time for their videos as they got more and more diverse. Like, some parts of the channel would be specifically Ian, with Anthony squeezed in, them together, and then Anthony. It was like a perfect blend. It was everything that you wanted to see and more. But then Anthony left, and that's when I'd say they kind of took a humongous nosedive. They were still doing good. They didn't really do as much spin-off videos as they kept doing their whatever blank ever, and that's when I'd say they were still doing pretty good. They were still funny, you know, they were still kind of there, but then they kept going and going and going. And that's why I like them less, and less. To put it bluntly, I have not watched a single new video from them yet, because I'm honestly scared of myself to say that I'm going to find a video that I'm going to hate. I'm afraid that's what it's going to come to, too. I just don't think they're as good as they used to be. I miss them. Maybe I'm just an old man when it comes to nostalgia factors, such as old YouTubers I used to watch that, you know, were really good back in the day. But it felt really sad, you know? Because when Anthony left, Smosh just didn't feel like Smosh. When Anthony left, he set this little, like, goodbye video of the reason why he left, and I found out that he was basically the creator for Smosh. He was the head of the brains. Ian was there too, but he didn't really do much, because he didn't really want to do much. He was the kind of guy that followed any idea his best friend Anthony had, and then just kind of blended in perfectly together. And that's what felt so beautiful about it, but at the same time, depressing for the fact that he left. Because when the brains leave, of like the head of the show, you don't really get the same spice you get. Let's say that Panic at the Disco was not the same band they are now. Let's say that Brandon Urie was the only one to, maybe one of the only ones, few of them, like a bunch of them left, all of them. But let's say that he was probably one of the only ones to, like, leave the show of his, like, of the music band. It wouldn't be the same, because Brandon Urie is the only member now in Panic at the Disco. The other ones I found out were just, you know, instrumentals for hire. Jesus. But he's the last one there. He is the only man standing. I thought it felt kind of rude how every single time they showed a video of Panic at the Disco, it was just only, you know, him. It was only just Brandon Urie, no more bandmates. And looking back on their phase of Vices and Vitresses, their most notable, probably the most famous of all of those Panic at the Disco characters that you'd be in the fan base you'd see was, what was his name? Crap, I can't remember his name. Whatever his name was, it was like something, it sounded like Josh. It sounded like Josh. Probably like Tyler or something. But when he left, it was for like drugs and stuff. I'm not going to go into it because I'm not really sure myself. But when he left, you know, people didn't really seem to care all that much until they started to look back on their old videos. I found a video of Panic at the Disco trying to review and teach you how to do their guitar chorus stuff for their song Ready to Go, which is a great song, by the way. And one of the comments said the only reason why I was able to pay attention to that was only for that other guy, and he was also the second highlight of of the Jennifer's Body music video. I forget what it's called. New Perspective. People like talked about Brandon Urie and then the other dude. But I just can't for the life of me remember his name. But it got me thinking, you know, what happened if Brandon was the one to leave and he would have been the last one there? Just imagine how weird that would have felt. Because Brandon Urie has always been Panic at the Disco. He has been the lead vocals for every single time, even though his voice has changed in a bit of a deeper tone and a higher tone at the same time, as he grew up and so did his music. You've always heard him whenever you thought Panic at the Disco. When someone says Panic at the Disco, you hear Brandon Urie. That's just how it's always been. And that was kind of the case for Anthony leaving. It just didn't feel the same. Because without the head of the game, what are you supposed to be without that, you know? It just felt kind of bizarre. And I wish Anthony didn't leave because I seriously think that channel took a humongous nosedive. Again, they're not terrible. You would still find comedy in them. You would still probably laugh, you know? But comparatively back then, you would still not find much enjoyment and nostalgia factors for anything that they do now. It's hard for me to describe how good they used to be, because you're just gonna have to understand that they were just good. It's just unfortunate. And that's just kind of what's been happening to literally every single channel nowadays. Except for a few. A few have gotten better than they used to be, but only a few, you know? They're not like what they used to be. And it's almost as much depressing as it is kind of the truth, I guess. You know, it's just always been something I look at and I remember, and then I just kind of wince in the background of my head and just go like, great, this is what we have now. This is the future, people. Because they're not, you know, they're not as good as they used to be. Another channel I think hasn't been as good as they used to be was, what was his name? I definitely know that there's another channel I personally don't watch new videos for, not because I don't have the time, but because I don't really think they're as good as they used to be. I forget their name. They're probably not even there. Grab that. Yeah. Did I grab that other? Yeah, I didn't think I did. I tried to grab that. I can't for the life of me remember that channel's name. I am subscribed to them though. I am. Oh, speaking of subscribed, I'm actually not subscribed to Smosh either. And the big reason of that is because how they are now. I'm not looking into any forward to any new videos, so why must I go ahead and subscribe for something I'm not really going to enjoy? It just makes me kind of depressed, because I just wish I could just turn back time, like the song Stressed Out describes. I wish I could just turn back time and just relive the magic that was then. Because for as much heartfelt moments came from back then, there's also a few highlights I wish I could go back to. And it's unfortunate that I'll never be able to ever again. It makes me kind of scared for what the future is going to hold, because, you know, what else am I going to be able to look forward to if something else I really like, let's say some of my favorite bands decide to go ahead and start quitting because they're getting old and stuff, and they just don't want to do it again. Like 21 Pilots, Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boy, those guys. You know, what new music am I really going to look forward to? Because they're probably all I listen to now. It's hard for me to imagine anything else to listen to, because I really like those guys. I think they're perfect, and I'm glad that they're back and with new sounds, more music coming out, like 3 years in between. That's a bit of a long wait, but still, it's worth the time. Alrighty, we're gonna have to grab that cake, and that cake might be the last thing we can get. Because that might satisfy him. I have 3 stars on him. Where did the cake go? It was literally here, I swear. No, it was here. Ah, I see the cake. But, you know, another person I think is getting a bit less good as life goes on. Actually, you know what? He stays the same. He looks different, but with new stories and stuff, but he always feels the same. And that's what I'm kind of happy about, is Gabriel Iglesias Fluffy. I think he is perfect as the way he is, and I hope he never changes. Because I like him the way he is, and I think it's perfect now. I don't want it to change, because if he changes, it's probably not going to be for the better. Let's face it. If Fluffy stops being fluffy as possible, then there's not really going to be much else to him. He's most unique because he makes a lot of jokes from stories of himself, and that's what a lot of comedians do, but he has his own unique style to it. That's what kind of Kevin Hart does and stuff. They all have their unique stuff. I grabbed that cake, didn't I? Well, I'm kind of glad I did. They have their own unique style to it, and, you know, they have their own races. Gabriel Iglesias is kind of like the Spanish comedian, Kevin Hart's the black comedian, you know, a ton. You got like I want to say Australian comedian? What would I classify as Jeff Dunham? I'm not sure. He's definitely unique. He's the puppeteer comedian. He's probably the most unique out of all of them. If any of you have any thoughts on like channels you wish stayed the same because they're not as good as they used to be, comment down below, because this is kind of like an interesting conversation I just thought of in my head I kind of want to talk about in last episode. But for the most part, that's my thoughts, man. I don't really like where the future holds to thin and below. But let's hope that time doesn't really screw up most things for us. And with that, that's the end of the video. I'll see you guys later for some more. Thank you for enjoying this special hump day. Please comment down below my question. I'd like to know more. And if I do remember that channel I think isn't as good as it used to be, more channels, I'm just going to go ahead and talk about it in the GTA 5 video as that's coming, and I'm recording it right after this. As this video is not going to get any edit, because I don't think there's any way I could edit it, and if I do edit it, I'm just going to miss a perfect segue of me talking about something I really had on my mind, so. Please smash that like button, subscribe if you have not, go check out Moses' channel, check out everyone's channel, you know, everyone deserves a chance. And I hope you guys check out the channels I mentioned, as they are pretty good. Some of their new videos I don't think are as good as they used to be, but that's them, you know. So, thank you guys so much for watching, I'll see you later for the GTA 5 video, and I hope you have a special hump day.